Fall is in the air, and the NFL season is in full swing, and we're underway here in Week 4.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Herbert on the first play wants to pass it.
Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. A huge play there right off the bat. 47 yards. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10. Down at the 31.
On the ground, here's the rookie from Notre Dame.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward, and now a small step back as he loses a yard or two.
The Chargers had 0-3 here to begin the campaign, and you hate to have to say it this early in the season, but getting close to must-win time, is it not?
And I totally understand why you expressed it that way, because it's so early in the season, it feels like hyperbole. But I think you are spot on this one. Yes, there's still time to turn things around, but they've got to start to win right now if they have any hopes of trying to make the playoffs.
That's good for a first down, his second catch of the opening drive. Herbert.
Open man is Yoshivas.
And he'll get nothing out of that one. So he stopped for no gain, and it'll be second down.
This defense for the Jets, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field.
Herbert has it knocked free, and it's scooped up by the Jets. And he returns it here to his own 18-yard line. Partner, on my spot sheets, I highlighted turnover margin because we remember they turned it over 4 times last week. So another one here in the first quarter. This isn't the way they want to go.
No, not even close, and it's not something they even imagine, because the amount of time that we know that they spend in practice talking about what they need to get done, working on it, showing them how to take care of the football, and emphasizing what it means in terms of winning. They've got to just be puzzled right now that they're not taking care of the ball better.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Williams, the man in motion left.
A shotgun snap, Fields.
Flushed out right.
He completes that to Garrett Wilson.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that's going to bring up second down. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1.
They'll run for the first time with Breece Hall.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Out of the gun, Fields.
Going underneath to the tight end, Green. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Now Fields.
Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 13-yard line. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
Really a solid start here on the opening drive, Charles. He's now 4 of 4, and they're already in plus territory.
Brandon, he's been so precise to start this game, like we're watching an operation taking place right now. Master surgeon at work.
And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown.
Justin Fields,
his 4th touchdown on the year.
And the Jets will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Extra point by Ryland, up and good.
And it's now a 7-0 game.
Back out is the kicker, Ryland, and he'll send this one away. And that's pretty good coverage by the kick team, as he'll only be able to get this past the 15-yard line and no further.
The Charger drive about to get going. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Straight ahead running. Here's Love. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because...
Try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
Charles, that makes now 5 interceptions in not even 5 quarters. Remember, he threw 4 picks last week.
And this turns into a tough situation because a lot of fans, the first thing is, oh, well, we need to change quarterbacks. This is your guy. This is your elite player. You can't just take him out like that. If I'm the coach, I make a little joke and say, you know some big guy, we're going to change the football. So it's obvious that's the problem. It's not you. Keep firing.
And he finds his target, Terrence Williams. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Terrence Williams, 38 yards.
And the Jets are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Ryland, up and good.
And that'll make the score 14-0.
Ryland now following the touchdown, back out to kick it away.
And he's going to be taken down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Charger drive about to get going. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work, get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. And a missed tackle there as he pushes forward for a gain of 4.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Now Herbert off the bootleg. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
Okay, let's decide here. He was open, right? Not extraordinarily open, but open enough that if you're an NFL quarterback, you got to make that throw, right? Yeah. That's got to be completed.
9 times out of 10, that's a completed pass.
Yeah, he missed that one and missed it in a big way.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Here's Herbert. Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. Picked up by Andre Sisco. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Jet touchdown.
Wow, this one, it is getting out of hand early. They add a pick 6 to the ledger now. 3-score lead still in the first half.
And all that celebrating that you see and hear from those defenders is not just because they scored a touchdown on a pick 6. It's because they're pitching a shutout in this one. Every defender's dream.
Extra point by Ryland, up and good. And it's now 21-0.
Chargers,
so they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The Charger drive about to get going.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Now a 2nd and 10.
They'll hand it off. It's Love. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep a defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Herbert now. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt.
And the Jets will take over.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Here's Fields.
He completes it to Wilson. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys.
Fights through, and now a crease. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Those are the plays this defense needs with the deficit they're facing.
It certainly is, and they've got to continue to swarm the football and hope that someone, while they're holding up the ball carrier, can get in there and rake it and lock it free. They need to get some takeaways as well.
Now it's Fields.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
What will look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion.
From the gun, here's Fields.
And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
And this one is right down the middle.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
So after the field goal, Ryland back out as he'll send this one away. And they'll opt not to return this, but since the ball did hit in the landing zone, this will come out to the 20.
The Charger drive about to get going. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Herbert back to the air. It's caught on the right side. Williams.
And he'll be out of bounds after his short pickup, as that's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. From the 47 now, they work with a 2nd and 7.
Now it's Herbert.
This one complete to Yoshivas.
Touchdown, LA!
Andre Yoshivas,
53 yards.
and the Chargers get a bit closer.
Maybe that is the boost that this offense needed.
They've done nothing the entire half, But out of the blue comes this big shot here. You're exactly right. Like a dunk in basketball, like a home run in baseball, maybe a solo shot. Sometimes you need that big play to get things ignited.
Extra point up and good by Dicker.
And that'll make it 24-7.
Now after the Dicker field goal, he's back out ready to send it away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They have been red hot, sometimes white hot here in this first half. They're just looking to add to that total right now.
And this has to serve as a reminder to myself because so many times I get wrapped up in the play calling, how they've sequenced things, how it's run. But you know, at the end of the day, it's still execution. Those guys out on the field, and right now they are locked in and really looking good.
They'll try to continue to be locked in here as we get ready to approach halftime.
Here's Fields.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Williams.
Here is third down and 4. Now Fields going to move him around.
They'll look to throw here.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That third down conversion good for 23.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick it down, any down, even third down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
This one finds Wilson downfield.
And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line.
Well, as my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
Back to throw, Fields.
Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Now Fields on third and goal.
That is caught by Williams for a Jets touchdown. A great play there in the final seconds of the first half.
And the Jets are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point by Ryland, up and good.
And the route is on here in this first half.
Maybe time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Charger drive about to get going.
And with 7 seconds remaining, not much time to really do anything.
And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. The final shot before the break for Herbert. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 26. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3.
Cameron Dicker to kick off for the Chargers.
Now the Jets set to receive this third quarter kickoff, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in the second half.
And no return forthcoming. It'll be a touchback, and the third quarter will start from the 30. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Second half starts with a run by Hall. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 52 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they establish that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead, because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
Fields now to throw.
Going underneath to the tight end Green. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he could break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
From the 43, here's 2nd down and 2. To throw is Fields.
He goes right back to Green. He's got it complete. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Fields. He gets it underneath to Hall.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it's 2nd down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Taking in left side, it's Wilson.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That, I believe, will put him over 100 yards receiving for the game. Yes, it will. And he's got a first down to boot.
Out of the gun, they run it with Hall.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves and start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now.
A shotgun snap, Fields.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And now that sets up 3rd and 2.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
From the gun on 3rd down, Fields. He's got his target. That's complete.
Touchdown!
Breece Hall.
A 9-yard touchdown grab.
And the Jets take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Ryland on for the extra point.
And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead.
to kick off.
Back out is the kicker, Ryland, and he'll send this one away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. Play action. It's Herbert. Open man here is Benson. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Well, that ground game just continues to struggle to really get any momentum in this ball game, Charles. And I mean, you're at the point here, third quarter, down 4 scores, probably going to have to put it in the air.
Oh, no question about it. So that's your only chance, your only opportunity. But think of the pressure you just put on your offensive line, because if you're a pass rusher, you're not even thinking about them running the football. All you're doing is getting into that sprinter stance and going after the quarterback. Sometimes we wonder about play calls, but this one made perfect sense to me. He's got the only touchdown that they've scored in this game. Tried to get it to him again on another deep ball.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on 3rd. Back to throw here, Herbert. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that. Charles's defense, they were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Now Fields. He finds Wilson, and he'll be touched down in the end, but a big play on that one.
A gain of 29 yards. First down, Jets.
A pitch comes to Hall, and he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front, because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Past the 20. 5. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Justin Fields, 46 yards. And the Jets will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Extra point by Ryland, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Ryland now following the touchdown, back out to kick it away. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30.
At their own 30-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
In every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6.
A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this third quarter of play.
Back now at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood.
And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. The offense on third down, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 6. Here's Herbert.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Down the sideline he goes. And all the way in for the Charger touchdown. Andre Yoshibas with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Chargers get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit. Extra point up and good by Dicker.
As they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play.
Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
They'll give to Hall. 72 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point.
Oh, first mistake for him in the ball game as it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Henley. And the Chargers are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield.
Now they get a fourth quarter pick, a little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. That's caught inside the 20. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Andre Yoshibas, 51 yards.
And the Chargers are able to cut into that deficit.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
Yeah, you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Certainly no reason to panic. They've got the 3-score lead, but the turnover last time, the interception that led to a touchdown, you'd have to think that we might not be dialing that up again.
Yeah, probably not. They're still in fantastic shape, though, so I would imagine before he trotted out here for this series, head coach probably just leaned over to him and was like, listen, we're wearing these color shirts. Throw it to those guys, not the others. Try to make a joke out of it and just let them go out there with a little bit more confidence.
2nd and 10. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Hall again on 2nd down. And some space here. He may go. Breece Hall. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Breece Hall, his 3rd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Jets start to open this lead even wider here in the 4th.
You get in a 2nd and long situation down here in the red zone, I'd say most defensive coaches would think pass, let's bring some pressure. So this is kind of a tendency breaker here to hit him with something on the ground, and he'll take it all the way into the end zone.
Extra point by Ryland, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So after the field goal, Ryland back out as he'll send this one away. And that's going to skip into the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss. That's complete. It's Ladd McConkey. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That's good for 28 yards.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
On Herbert, his 3rd interception. And the Jets are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. Well, they've got the huge lead now. They have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
They'll start on the ground. Hall. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. 151 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. In motion right, that's Wilson. Hall again on 2nd down. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. And I think he got a yard to the 41. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
A Jet 1st down, 18 big yards that time. Partner, I know we're still in the afternoon slate here, some primetime games still on the docket, but it's going to be tough to top this effort. What an offensive performance we have seen. They have been unstoppable from the moment we began this game, and they're not holding back. They're still throwing the football here in the 4th.
They certainly are, and let me tell you something. If you're old school, you don't like this at all, But in today's football, you just go ahead and savor it. Watch a team execute at a high level. Doesn't matter.
Looking for Green, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And the Chargers are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the fourth quarter, trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
The Charger drive about to get going.
We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
On first down, here's Love. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
Here comes 3rd and about a foot.
A shotgun snap for Herbert. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, these guys are not going to go out with their tails between their legs. They're going to keep taking their shots until the clock's at 000. But that one, like a lot of others, winds up incomplete.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They snap it to Herbert. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Jets are going to get the football here in great field position.
Running left, it's Hall.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
2nd and 10. At the Chargers' 48-yard line.
On the counter, it's Hall.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today.
Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Sliding out of the pocket.
Pass to the sideline and pulled in.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
Handoff, running left. Here's Hall.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Another good run for him. What else is new? That'll put him right at 150 yards for the game. So he's really made his presence felt in this one.
Hall again on 2nd down.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Brandon, you're a big lover of music. How about what you just saw there? This is what I call playing the piano for a defensive lineman. The ability to move laterally up and down the line of scrimmage. How about the way he just flowed and got to the outside part of the field and made that play?
So it's a win here for the Jets, and that's thanks largely to the play of their quarterback, Justin Fields, CD.
Yeah, I don't know how you play defense against a guy like this when he has the kind of game we just saw. He was responsible for 5 total touchdowns, 3 in the air, 2 more on the ground. That's getting it done.
So for the Jets, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here.